What happens when a country enters a major international conflict? Its allies hesitate, its own leadership is divided, and the system meant to manage the crisis were quietly weakened beforehand. This is not hypothetical. This is the situation the United States is facing right now. The U.S. is moving deeper into a conflict involving Iran. Allies are cautious. Some are staying quiet, others are calculating their own risk. At the same time, reports are surfacing that, even within Trump's own team, there is concern that events are moving faster than planning can keep up with. Now, add another layer. Russia is stepping in to support Iran. That changes the scale of the situation immediately. This is no longer a contained regional issue. It becomes a geopolitical contest with multiple powers involved. And then there is energy. The Strait of Hormuz is one of the most important shipping routes in the world. A significant portion of global oil and gas flows through the narrow corridor. When tensions rise there, markets react quickly. Prices increase, insurance costs for shipping rise, supply becomes uncertain. You may not follow foreign policy closely, but you feel this part immediately. Gas prices go up, transportation costs increase. Food prices follow. Utility bills don't stay where they are. This is how global conflict shows up in everyday life. Now, here's where it gets more serious. There are growing concerns that key government positions tied to energy planning, military readiness, and crisis coordination have been cut or left understaffed before the situation escalated. That matters more than most people realize. Government capacity isn't something you can rebuild overnight. It takes time to develop expertise, to coordinate agencies, to build relationships with allies, and to prepare response plans. When those systems are reduced or neglected, the impact isn't immediately. It shows up when a crisis hits. And right now, that gap is being exposed. Historically, this isn't new. The United States has gone into major conflicts before with internal disagreements and incomplete preparation. You can look at the early stages of the Iraq War or even earlier conflicts where assumptions about speed and control didn't match reality. The difference now is how interconnected everything is. Energy markets are global, financial systems react instantly, information spreads in real time. Political divisions at home are sharper and more visible. Which brings us to the domestic side of this. While this international situation is escalating, there's also instability inside the country. There is a noticeable level of indifference within parts of Trump's base toward the foreign policy risk. That creates a disconnect between what is happening globally and how seriously it is being treated domestically. At the same time, there is pressure building around elections. There are ongoing discussions about voting restrictions that could impact millions of people. Changes to access, procedures, and timelines are being debated and, in some cases, implemented. Now, think about that combination. A growing international conflict, rising economic pressure, and changes to how people participate in elections. Those aren't separate issues, they interact with each other. Economic stress influences political behavior. Political instability affects how decisions are made during a crisis. Foreign policy outcomes can reshape domestic priorities. When all of those pressures happen at once, the system becomes harder to manage. And here is the part that deserves close attention. When institutions are strained, decisions tend to become more centralized. Fewer people are involved. Processes move faster. Oversight can weaken. That doesn't automatically lead to bad outcomes, but it increases the risk of them. So, where does that leave the average person? You are likely to feel this in stages, first through prices, gas, food, transportation, utility, then through policy, changes in voting rules, shifts in government priorities, new legislation tied to security or economic response, and finally, through long-term impact, how the country positions itself globally, how stable its institutions remain, and how much influence everyday people have in shaping those outcomes. This is a moment where multiple systems are under pressure at the same time. Foreign policy, economic stability, political structure, none of these operate in isolation. And when they start to move together, the consequences are broader than any single issue. The takeaway is straightforward. Pay attention to how these pieces connect. the conflict abroad, the economic impact at home, and the political changes happening at the same time are part of the same story. And that story affects far more than headlines. If you want deeper breakdowns like this, follow me on YouTube for full analysis, on Instagram for short form explanation, and on Substack for in-depth writing. You can also support this work and access extended content in the Patreon vault.